242 pounds, 6'8". His fat-free mass index is 26.6, which is impossible that he's natural. Proven Zion Williams is not natty. Coach Greg, and today I'm going to be discussing Zion Williams, the freak basketball player. He's just an alien. Let's admit it. He's an alien. He definitely has alien DNA. But can he put on 8 pounds of muscle in a week? Did he do that? It was reported that that's what happened. And is he in fact natural? Or is he not natural? We're going to analyze him starting from a younger age, going into his older age, and give you some indication of if it's possible that he could do what he's doing as a natural athlete. Okay, before I get into that, I am not a doctor. I don't actually know him. I'm just not an idiot. I'm actually a kinesiologist with a master's degree that can analyze what he's done and knows if it's possible or not. In grade 9, he was 5'8" and 180 pounds. So he wasn't huge. He went through a growth spurt. He went through puberty. He just started a couple years later than I did. It's still normal. In grade 11, he was 6'7" and 240 pounds, okay? It's not from taking some special supplement. It's called puberty. He's growing. He started growing a bit later in life. Had he had grown in grade 7, he would have been tall by grade 9. It just happened a couple of years later for him, okay? So he's 6'7" and 240 pounds. Now, was he athletic? He could high jump 6 feet tall as a junior high student. Just think of it, over 6 feet tall. I couldn't even jump 5 feet tall. The guy could jump. He had vertical jump, huge power, explosive, fast twitch fiber. These are the fibers that are for strong explosive movements, like running the 100-meter dash, okay? Not for marathon running. So fast twitch fibers, guess what kind of fibers most bodybuilders have? Fast twitch fibers, because they grow stronger, bigger, faster. They're better for being massive and aesthetic. Slow twitch fibers are your ectomorph, kind of like your marathon runner types. Zion is fast twitch fibers everywhere, meant to be explosive, muscular, and powerful. Moving into grade 12, he's still growing, minor amounts. And you know how NBA players or coaches or scouts, they like to exaggerate height. So they're saying he's 6'8". He's probably not. He's probably 6'7". However, his weight at graduation, in grade 12, finishing 273 pounds. 273! That's huge. That's almost, at grade 12, he's literally in the top couple, top 2 or 3 biggest men. If you were to just go right to the NBA as an 18-year-old, he would be bigger than LeBron James. Bigger than some of the biggest men in the NBA. Not the biggest, but close to it. At a very young age, 18, not even in university yet. So just think, if he wanted to, let's say he played center. They're like, let's get you big. We want you playing like Shaquille O'Neal. And this had been 20 years ago when centers were supposed to be monsters. He could get way bigger. He would be 300 plus pounds. Let's say basketball was never invented. This man would probably have grown up to have been a power lifter or a strongman competitor, perhaps. Obviously football and all these other sports. But he's so big that he could have done so many other sports. So explosive. Imagine how good he could be. So he gets drafted by Duke, which is awesome. It's his school he wants to go to and all that stuff. And he's really at a young age. He's not projected to be some superstar. He's not even, I started following him around grade 11 because of his dunks. His dunks are just insane. His vertical jump, actually at Duke, he set the vertical jump record. He jumped so high that those testers, you jump up and you hit the thing. He jumped over it, over the top of the testing device. That is insane. It's mind-blowing. And he's heavy. It's not like he's, a skinny guy. The more you weigh, the more weight you have to carry. Just pretend if you added 50 pounds to your back and you had to jump, how high would you jump? You'd be jumping a lot less because you have to carry all this weight. So if he were to diet down and get a bit leaner, imagine how much more he could even jump. It's reported his body fat is 8.5 to 9%. I'm so freaking sick and tired of body fat percentages. It is driving me insane. From men to women, competitors, not competitors. Everyone thinks that they're low percents. Everyone wants to be single-digit body fat, and hardly anyone is. I'm 8.5% body fat. You think Zion Williams is as lean as me? I'm only about 6 weeks out of doing a professional bodybuilding show. You think Zion could diet for 6 weeks and go on a show and be Mr. Freaking Olympia? No, he's not even close to that. He's 15% if he's lucky, 20% is more likely. The dude is not lean at all. Is he fat? No, he's in decent shape. Would I call him lean for a basketball player? No, he's kind of chubby for a basketball player. Am I saying he's chubby? No, for a basketball player. For a marathon runner, he's obese. It's like simple, okay? Let's analyze his friggin' BMI. His BMI is as high as mine. It's over 31. He is, medically speaking, obese. He is obese. That's like being overweight, only worse, okay? Obese. Is he really obese? No, because his body fat isn't over 25%, which for men is obese. For women, it's 33. Doesn't mean it's a good body fat. For health, 15% is probably where he needs to be. For athletes in the NBA, a really good percent body fat is 8 to 12%. If I were Zion's trainer, I would make him lose some body fat. I would trim him down, probably 20 pounds. Why? Have you seen the size of this man? Do you not think that at 19 years of age, that the wear and tear of all this extra weight is going to hinder his future abilities? Let's look at his history. He's playing basketball. I'm a basketball player. People are paying thousands of dollars for a ticket to see him. What is hurt, injured? Why? Because he's so big and explosive and powerful. If he lost a bit of weight, that's less pressure, less strain on the knee. Fast forward later on. Oh, I can't wait. #1 draft Pelicans. Oh my God, I'm so pumped. I love Zion. Personally, love to watch. Can't wait to see him play. So excited. What happens? Knee injury. Oh, just playing a game or whatever. They do a friggin' MRI and he has a torn meniscus. I've had a torn meniscus. That is shitty. It sucks. I was limping, crutches, the whole thing. It took 3 months before I could walk normal, okay? What do they tell him? You'll be back to normal in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, right. He's friggin' 285 pounds at this point. He's about 6'8", almost 6'7". He's not going to be normal in 8 weeks. So how long does it take? 3 months, 12, 14 weeks later, he's starting to play. Well, I'm recording this video on a Monday. He's playing in 2 days, okay? He's making his debut back. Will he be 100%? No, of course not. So, what's the point? He needs to lose weight. He needs to get leaner, more chiseled. So what do? They put him in the weight room. And they bulk him up. How much? They say, quote, just so you don't think I'm making this shit up. Quote, the Pelicans engaged in a team-wide heavy lifting routine. Oh, that's smart. Heavy lifting. That's what you want. For 1 week during the offseason. Williamson's gained 8 pounds of muscle during that span, a degree of weight gain that shocked staffers. They said 8 pounds of muscle. Why can't these guys be honest and say he gained 8 pounds? Okay? He gained 8 pounds. I don't care if they used the bod pod, the DEXA scan, hydrostatic weighing, skin fold calipers. My freaking laser eye vision could have said he didn't gain 8 pounds of muscle in a week. If he had been on anabolics of any kind and every kind, I don't care what he could have taken, $50 million worth of stuff. You stab him 50 times. Train for a week. It's not 8 pounds of muscle. What is it? Well, it's mostly water and glycogen forms with water and carbohydrates, fills out the muscle, with glycogen. It's not really muscle, and muscle's mostly water. So if you're dehydrated, you're like Henry Cavill, and you don't drink water for like 3 days to make to look good in a bathtub scene, and you're dehydrated. Then the shoot is over, and you drink a bunch of water and eat carbs and blow up again. You didn't just gain 20 pounds. If you did gain 20 pounds, it's not 20 pounds of muscle. Maybe it's 1 or 2. That's what happened. Zion Williamson did not gain 8 pounds of muscle in a week. I don't care that he has alien DNA, because he in fact does. I know he does, okay? I don't know him, but I'm from the same planet, okay? I have the alien DNA. He has alien DNA. We all have it in our own way, okay? His is for vertical jump. Mine is for being insane, okay? We just have it in a different way. Now, it reports that he gains 8 pounds of muscle, so what do I get? Greg, look at this, dude, Coach Greg. I get 100 of these messages, do a video on it. I've been getting hundreds of messages over the last year asking me to do a video on Zion Williams and is he natty or not? And I'm thinking, why would they want me to do a video on is he natty or not? So let me get into that. Of course he's natural. Of course he's natural. But Greg, the fat-free mass index indicates he's not natural. Are you kidding me? People literally tell me this. The fat-free mass index. They try to say I wasn't natural when I was natural because of the fat-free mass index. It's a BS index based on your height and your weight and how much of it is fat. And they say if you're this weight at this height, it's impossible for you to be natural because somebody said so. It's not even Stone Cold that said so. Somebody, some idiot just said, oh, in 1955, these weightlifters were this high and this much muscle. So anyone after 1963 and a half, they cannot have muscles this big because that's when steroids were created. They say stupid, moronic stuff like this. So let's examine his freaking fat-free mass index. All right, so he's 285 pounds. They say he's 8.5 to 9% body fat. No, I'm not going to use what they say. I'm going to use what my laser eyeball freaking vision says. I'm going to be generous, really Mr. Nice Guy, and say he's 14% body fat. I don't have a picture. Maybe he lost a bit of fat since the pictures I've seen of him. I'm going to give him 14%. That puts him at 242 pounds. And I'm going to round up. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to say 6'8", even though I don't believe it that he's actually that tall. Because I believe that in basketball, you want to exaggerate your height. People like to be taller. Just like in bodybuilding, everyone says they can bench press more than they can. They all lie. People exaggerate how much they can lift. Just like in bodybuilding, people lie and say their fat percents are lower. Same as in bikini and everything. Oh, I'm 5% body fat. Oh, you don't even have abs. That's strange that you're 5%. Stupid stuff like that. So, at 242 pounds, 6'8", his fat-free mass index is 26.6, which is impossible that he's natural. Proven Zion Williams is not natty. I have the proof. Boom! Take that! 26.6 fat-free mass index. Take that and shut up. But that's bullshit because that fat-free mass index is stupid. My fat-free mass index when I was natural and competing was over 26 as well. Doesn't mean I wasn't natural. A lot of people were higher than that. John Meadows, just to take one off the top of my head, was higher than that. Basically, anyone with elite level genetics, every single IFBB Pro Open class competitor, if they were natural and trained hard, would have developed a fat-free mass index higher than that. The problem is, by the time you get that good, you end up taking stuff and you end up with a mass index above 30, for example. So that test is just stupid. What do these tests do? Well, so far, they say that Zion Williams is currently obese. He's obese. And people get mad at me when I call women obese. I'm like, yeah, she's obese. And I'm using the actual stats. Zion Williams is technically obese. But I don't say he's obese because I use body fat percent as a measure of obesity rather than BMI, which is just height and weight, which doesn't factor in muscle. Now, his fat-free mass index proves he's not natural. Proves. Now, listen to this as just well, you're saying, well, maybe he is not natural. I mean, you have evidence. No, think of this. Why would an 18, 17, 16, 17, 18-year-old kid take anything that's banned that could possibly ruin him in the NBA? Why would he want to take something to get bigger when he's already too big? If he were to take anabolics and beef up, put on 20 pounds of muscle, that would make him worse at his sport. Not better, worse. He would get injured more likely. He would tear ligaments, tendons, injured more often, worse. More weight on his body, decrease his vertical jump, means his dunks would be less ridiculous. The dude runs up from the foul line, dunking in grade 12. From the foul line. Who else did that? Michael Jordan. He dunks like Jordan as a high school kid. Why would he take anything to improve his performance when his performance is already redonkulous? It's already too good. It's so good that it injures himself to the point of he's missing several months of his rookie NBA season. Money. Well, maybe he'd get a better contract. No, he wouldn't get a better contract. He's going to make about, $40 million in the first 3-4 years, whatever his contract. Do you think that's going to be enough money for him? Probably. But guess what? He'll make another $100 million from shoe endorsements. The money that they're going to pay you in the NBA is nothing compared to just the amount of endorsement money that you're going to get. Plus, after his initial contract, he'll make max salary, $35-40 million a year, whatever it is. I don't know exactly how much money they make in the NBA. A lot more than I make, okay? He's going to get hundreds of millions of dollars from shoe companies. But not if he can't play for the rest of his life. He has to be able to play, okay? And what makes him more special? His jumping and his agility and his ability to just wow the crowd on a breakaway and do a 360 and dunk. Who knows? He's going to do 2 360s at some point. It's just crazy. He can jump so high. He doesn't even have to know how to shoot, even though he can. He can make all his baskets just dunking. He's just that good, okay? There's no reason why he would take anything, and they do have a drug testing policy in the NBA. People have failed in the NBA. I'm not making, they don't test. Oh, you could just stop in time. Randomly show up, hey, Zion, test you for this. It's not worth it for him to fail a test when he's already got a $100 million shoe deal, multi-million-dollar contracts, and so on. It would be stupid to do that. Subscribe! Click the bell button. I don't just do NBA player, but I do everybody. Famous movie stars, sports stars, bodybuilder, fitness people, men, women, whatever. And I educate you at the same time. You'll learn something from this. It's not just some video to talk about somebody. You're actually learning something as you're watching it, okay? Hopefully you're entertained. That's a wrap, okay? He's a freak, a natty freak. He certainly is not gaining 8 pounds of muscle in a week. Nobody is. I don't care what you think he took. He is natural, and he is also stupid to gain all this weight. Why do you think he's really gaining all this weight? Because he likes food. Food tastes good. Yummy. That's why people gain weight. Food tastes so good that a $100 million contract isn't even worth more than losing 20 pounds. It is hard to diet. Now, he doesn't have my diet. I'm not his coach. If I was his coach, he would have the delicious foods to eat, and it would be awesome. And he's so rich, he could pay somebody to make it all and eat all this yummy food, and he wouldn't gain all this body fat. And he wouldn't be 15 to 20% based on my laser vision eyeball test, not their 8.5 to 10% whatever superstar friggin' fitness assessment, fitness appraiser that they use to test these people. They need to get rid of these testers and just ask me, Greg, what percent is freaking LeBron James or any basketball player? I can tell you by looking. I don't need some stupid test. Oh, he gained 8 pounds of muscle in a week. Wow, this is such a great program. He just puts on muscle so easy because he's a mesomorph. The dude likes to eat. We need to control his appetite. We need to stop him from getting too much bigger. In fact, we need to shrink him down so he can have a 20-year-long NBA career, get his weight down, his vertical jump up. He'll just be jumping and going nuts. And he needs to get his weight down to 250, not up to 285. Shrink him down some. Turn him into a basketball player. You wouldn't say to a marathon runner who's 200 pounds to gain 10 pounds of muscle. You'd say get skinnier. It's how you play this game. It's how you play sports. You want to be the best in the world, you do what it takes to get to that point. And for him, it's to get leaner. I need him lifting his shirt up and showing us a six-pack. That's what we need to see. Not for aesthetics, but for body fat percent to keep his weight down and to keep his vertical jump and to keep his injuries at bay. Because he's already injury prone. He's already got knee injuries. He's got arthroscopic surgery already on his knee, and he's only 19. He hasn't even played a game in the NBA. Smarten up. All right. Top 10 video over here, another natty or not over there. Check that out. GregDoucette.com. That's my coaching website. That's where you can hire me. Greg Doucette IFBB Pro. That's where I post all kinds of funny stuff and we talk about everything. Okay? Until next time, I am out to go to the gym and bike race because it's been a week in Mexico and I'm back and pumped to get into it again.